Hi, my name is Danica Harmon, and I am here to persuade people to pay closer attention to autism. My little brother, his name is Hayden James Harmon. He is 10 years old, and he is the sweetest person you will ever meet. He was born inside this facility where they do like natural births and stuff like that. He was very pampered little baby, and he is my little buddy. When he was about 7 years old, he was diagnosed with autism. But we tried to treat him as if a normal kid. Hayden loves Star Wars. And the whole family loves Star Wars, and we all watch it all together. And for his last birthday, that's what we did. And some of the characters, because of his autism, he can't pronounce them and things like that. So autism, as most of you probably know, is a serious developmental disorder that impairs the ability to communicate and interact. There's a spectrum when it comes to autism disorders. It impacts the nervous system. The range and the severity of the symptoms can vary depending on how bad the autism is. If there is on a scale, you have from 1 to the least amount of autism to 10 would be the most. Common symptoms to look out for when it comes to autism would be difficulty with communication, difficulty with social interactions, obsessive interests, repetitive behaviors. Sometimes you can see early signs where kids will go like this with their hands, or they'll blink really hard. There's a lot of different signs that you can see that you can say, oh, maybe this child has autism. And if you have a child, and you see your kid doing things like those small things, it can be autism. And sometimes, depending on how autistic your child is going to need very special care. They do treatments for autism. If you recognize it early, they have therapy. There's medications. A lot of the therapies have to do with anger management and family therapies, applied behavioral analysis therapies, because they're trying to understand what kind of autism your child might have. For my brother, he is low on the spectrum. He's not as high as other kids, but you can still tell that he does have autism. My brother gets easily frustrated, most of the time, because he just doesn't understand. And it can be rough for him, because when he doesn't understand why he can't have something, that's when it can be frustrating, because temper tantrums happen a lot, especially for autistic children. Lastly, I want to talk about how autism affects my brother and how it affects my family, and why I wish that people would pay more attention to autism. So when my brother was diagnosed, it changed the whole perspective. Literally, we knew immediately why he was acting this way, and we no longer questioned it. But at the same time, we had to figure out a way to counteract it. We can't just let somebody throw a temper tantrum. No, we have to find a way to counteract it in a way that satisfies both parties. And what I mean by that is that in a way that it won't make the autistic child like hate you, and still satisfies yourself to keep that child in line, because autistic children can be a lot of work. Now, when it comes to like how it affected my family, it really didn't affect my family too much. Honestly, we still look at Hayden like he's just a little boy. Like he's the biggest dork I've ever seen in my life, honestly. And he's so kind. Like, I can't even describe how kind he is. He walks up to you and he'll give you a kiss on the cheek and he'll go, "I love you so much." And you're like my heart, you know? But I'm trying to put this into words. Autism shouldn't affect your relationship with the person who has autism. And it doesn't affect my relationship with my brother at all. But I want people to be more aware of it, because some people don't understand that like somebody's child might be autistic, and that's why they may be acting a certain way, or acting out, or crying a lot, whining a lot, anything like that. When I was out in public with my brother one time, he threw a fit because I didn't have any money at the time. I was 16 years old. I didn't have a job. And he wanted the candy that was on the shelf. And I told him to put it back, that we had to go find Mom. And he didn't understand that he couldn't just open it and eat it. And he was a little bit younger back then. Now he does understand, like, you have to pay for that because he's, like, 10 years old and stuff. But when he was 7 or 6, he didn't understand that. And that's something that a 6 or 7-year-old should be able to kind of understand. He has harder time in school. He has to take specialized classes to be able to understand things that people his age kind of already understand. And that can be kind of frustrating for him, because whenever he does the online work, it's even more frustrating because he can't digest the information that is given to him. So in conclusion, I want to persuade people to pay more attention to autism, because it affects a lot of families and a lot of people, and we should be paying more attention to how somebody acts because of maybe how they are, and just to understand that without being too judgmental and judging too quickly. And that's about it. Thank you.